Style sheets. I want to talk a little bit about style sheets and show you guys how to manipulate those, because when the teaching online course was set up, a style sheet was used, and that was giving you that background color. Here, I'll just sort of make it big here. You'll notice how this video and stuff was brought into this teaching online course here, but it doesn't have that dark green and that light background, so that light and dark, it's missing. It's all on the white. And you'll also notice that this heading here at the very top here, title for that, is not in the proper color on that. So I want to show you how that was done. So what we'll do is we'll actually go here into the HTML view. I'm going to go ahead and click it here, make it big. Okay. Now all the content pages in D2L are set up like a separate web page. So you'll notice right here it's like a legitimate web page. So you've got the doc type, and you'll notice you've got the HTML to HTML. Okay, you got followed by the two head tags, followed by the body and the body. Okay, that makes up the standard tags for a standard web page. Okay, so what they did was, for all those different colors for the backgrounds of that, is they tied it to a style sheet. So we need to put the style sheet right here. Okay, so now what it does is it uses the link tag. Okay, and then it's a style sheet, and it actually comes out right here. It tells us exactly where that style sheet is located. So that's actually in our content files right here. So the first thing you need to do if you're adding a new course here to the Teaching Online course up here, you'll need to add the link to hook that out to the style sheet. Now what style sheets do is that every tag, okay, here's a body tag, here's a paragraph tag, anything between the angled brackets is a tag. What a style sheet does is allows you to set the characteristics for that tag in one file. That way, if you need to do a global change, a global look on how that looks, you can simply go to that file, change it one place, and it will change it for all the rest of the pages that are linked to that style sheet. Okay, so first step, you're going to add the link tag, and it has to go between the head tags. Okay. Second part of this, we need to add a div tag. Div stands for division. We're going to just say ID equals container. And you're going to see this here in a moment. Okay, but we can put a unique identifier in each and every one of the tags if we wanted to. So if we wanted to, add an ID to a paragraph, we can do that and then reference that in the style sheet. Okay, so I've created a div tag. That div tag is called container. I need to add the corresponding close tag to it, and away we go. Now that close tag has to go right here, right above the body tag. Okay, at least how our pages are set up. You can have in different web pages, you can have multiple div tags in multiple places, as long as it's in between the body tags up there on there. And you'll notice that almost all the tags there, almost all, will have a close tag. So here we have the open, here we have the close. Okay, it's got the /div. Okay, you'll notice here we've got a body, we've got the close tag, /body. Okay, so we've got the close, we've identified that everything between here is going to be applied to that style sheet. Okay, so now if I go ahead and hit update, hey, we've got our background popping in here. Okay, and we need to do one more thing here. We'll just go ahead and highlight this, make that a heading 1. Boom. There's the heading on that. It matches the background. If you want to see it in the HTML, you'll notice that that went from paragraph to H1. And you notice it also has a close tag right there. Okay. So that's how to use the style sheet on there. Now I said I'll go ahead and I'll show you where that's at. So I will go back one here. We'll go to Manage Files. Okay, now in that link, this is the location of it. Right there. So it's telling us here, here's the actual course name right here, and under the course name it's under Modern Orange and template files, and then we actually have our style sheet. So if we go, here's the Modern Orange, here's the template files, and here's our style sheet. Now, by convention, all the style sheets are named .css. Okay, so you can have the first part of that be named anything on that, but it's always going to end in .css. Okay, now if I open that, here I'll go ahead and open up the file there. This is what a style sheet looks like. So it's got all the basic tags. So here's all the standard tags. Okay. Why did I jump over the ones here? See here? Pound sign. Okay. The pound signs relate, so pound sign's container, pound sign header or whatever, but the pound sign in front of that label right here, okay, identifies to the ID. Okay, so back in the other file there, we said div space ID equals container. Okay, so the IDs, you can always tell an ID because it'll have the pound sign in front of it. Okay, so that's what's set up here, the the rounded corners on that, and the background color for that right here. Now the color, in case you're wondering, is done in hexadecimal. So the first two values are red. The second two, so it's red, green, and blue, RGB. So here's the green components, and there's the blue component. Okay, so you're mixing light. Okay, so if you give everything all total Fs, and it's in hex, so you're going to go 0 through 9, A, B, C, D, E, F, before it rolls over to the next one. So yeah, just a quick reminder on how that hexadecimal works. So if I added all F's in there, you're adding more value of the red, full value of red, full color of green, full color of blue, RGB, and that will make it white. If you turn it all to zeros, you're taking color away. That makes it black. Okay? So container, that's where it was at. Let's just pop down in here. You'll see here, here's the H1. And you notice there's where they named the color of that. And that's pretty cool because I can actually change the color on here for all the H1s. It will change the heading 1s in all of the pages that reference this style sheet. If I needed to change the background color on all of those, all I have to do is change that, and the background on all of the pages that are connected to that instantaneously get changed. So that's why they use style sheets. You set up a style sheet, one file, one place, and you reference all the different formatting to the one file, and that way if you need to make global changes easily, you change it in the style sheet. So real quick, just as a real quick review, we're going to go back to Manage Content here. We're going to go back down to that file that we just were looking at. Okay, HTML. Okay, so what did we do? We added the link. Okay, and it has to be between the head. Okay. Just as a side note, if there's any type of scripting going on, a JavaScript, PHP, some of those other scripting levels on that, scripts being ran, then that you could actually have more code in between the head. but generally the link is the first thing that goes immediately after the head tag, followed by any other scripting type of code would go there. Now we have the body, and right after the body you have the div. So the way they're setting up these sheets, it's going right after the div, and you're going to have to say ID equals container. And then we need to do the close div. Boom, right there. And then we'll change our heading to H1, and we can pick this from the editor. Okay? So that's how that's done. That's how it's tied to the style sheet.